I have started and stopped many different things in my life. Um, I identify as somebody with ADHD. The distraction and the hyperfocus. There's good and bad that goes with it, but there's a lot of struggles that goes along with that. And one of the big symptoms that people with ADHD have is going down a rabbit hole and starting something and not sticking with it. And I don't know the exact date that I started streaming on Twitch, which I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 to 9. Come check us out. But it's been about a month. Let's call it 3-4 weeks, a month, something like that. Laurel has continued to tell me that I should be very proud of hitting Twitch affiliate in 13 days. And I am. That was the first kind of hurdle. What's interesting, and the way I kind of look at it in defense of my not getting too excited about it, is that Twitch affiliate is like, in other platforms, I would consider that the same as becoming a registered user. Like, 50 followers on Twitch doesn't translate to a lot, and the Trainer Toll and Trainer Toll in general, the name is something that I have picked up and put down once before, where Trainer Toll was a YouTube channel, and it is a YouTube channel that I'm uploading it to this YouTube channel right now. But originally, those initial Pokemon Go videos that were being made mostly for people in San Antonio, I wasn't trying to be trainer tips. I definitely wouldn't have turned it down if it had gone that route, but it was like, we had this community. I was an admin in these groups. I was trying to make good content for those groups because I kept seeing stuff get posted that wasn't right. I kept, somebody said, if your Eevee has Sand Attack, it'll evolve into Jolteon. Or if it has and all these different things of, even now we still see it with certain evolutions. Like, are they random? You have to do it at a certain time of day. Like, how does that work? So I wanted to really provide the correct information so that if somebody's playing one of these games, they aren't wasting their time playing the game. And I stopped. I got to 500 subscribers, which is a lot bigger milestone than 50 followers on Twitch. 500 subscribers, and I've stayed at about 430 something subscribers, but these are people who they subscribed and they checked out, and they don't know that they don't realize that they're still subscribed to me. They don't realize I stopped making content. It wasn't a big deal, so they didn't care. And so that's one of those things that I can look back on and say, that's something I picked up. Inbound Zen, which is what I'm calling this segment. It's kind of a tribute to me picking things back up. My vlog, my personal reflections are Inbound Zen on Trainer Toll. It's a tribute to picking back up something that I had put down. I bought this microphone. I bought the audio board that's here. I bought the cables and all this stuff 6-7 years ago to do podcasting, the inbound marketing podcast called Inbound Zen. I'm an SEO by trade. I've got a bunch of SEO emails and stuff from websites that we're working on. That's what I do before I stream. That's what I do before we do Raid Bus things. That's what I interrupt in the middle of the day on Mondays when I have to put the Raid Bus tickets live. So I see myself going down this rabbit hole with Twitch. And I see friends who are giving up on the platform. I see friends who made it to affiliate even just 2 or 3 months ago. And I reached out to them when growing my own channel, and I said, hey, how's no videos posted? No activity. They haven't logged in so long that Twitch deleted their recent videos. On Twitch, it goes live, it stays so you can watch it. And I don't know, it's some number of weeks that it all goes away. And so I see other people, it's not just an ADHD thing of starting something and not continuing it, but the number of things that I have done in my life where, and games, even hobbies that I've picked up, some that I fell out of, just I lost interest in, some that I fell out of because of the difficulty. I love to paint miniature figures like Warhammer 40,000, Warhammer Fantasy, and the amount of space and time that it requires to paint those figures is huge. And so how do you how do you juggle work-life balance and hobby life balance when there's a hobby that takes over your home, right? And so I have boxes of War Machine figures from Privateer Press. Privateer was actually a client, right? So like I had some good stuff from when I worked for them, and even so, I don't have friends that play those games, or if I do, they live far away, and it's something that I picked up and I put down, and so I find myself. It's Thursday today. I'm waiting for all these PC components to arrive tomorrow to build my streaming gaming computer. I don't intend to stream PC games. I might stream World of Warcraft Classic or something like that. And who knows, a year from now there may be a game like a Destiny or Anthem kind of game that really pulls me in. But I like to stream tomorrow. Legend of Zelda: A Link's Awakening will be dropping, and I intend to stream that probably all night Friday, because I played on my original. Hold that thought. On my original Game Boy, like no joke, this is my original 1989 Game Boy. And the only thing that's not original is I had to buy a new. You can see that the two colors aren't quite faded at the same level because the plastic bit on my. So all I had was this for a while, but I found one, and it still works. Like if I put batteries in this, it would turn on. And so I had The Legend of Zelda: A Link's Awakening, and my favorite Zelda game was always A Link to the Past. The Super Nintendo Zelda for me was my jam. I had 100% completion on that. Unlocked every fairy upgrade, every pots, and just every upgrade possible. So when that game drops, I'm really excited about it, because A Link's Awakening was the handheld equivalent of A Link to the Past. So I played on this Game Boy. I played the hell out of that game. So we'll be streaming that. But it's yesterday, when this past Wednesday's stream, we had a good, we averaged 8 viewers or something like that, and my average viewers overall ticked up from the 3 average that you're required to hit affiliate up to, it's now a full 6. So I've doubled the requirement. To me, when I'm trying to get 500 subscribers on YouTube, it's like, okay, we have an average of 6 viewers. This is not yet a success. This experiment is not yet fruitful, right? And so, I'm going to want to see that average continue to grow to where I can say, okay, here we are on month 3, we're now averaging 15. And then on month 6, we're averaging 50. And that to me, like, I think if we're not averaging 50 viewers at month 6, then that probably means that the Twitch experiment, either I really need to retool how I'm promoting it, or I declare that a failure, or I just lose interest in it because I don't see traction in it. And every single time we go live, I have to post it a bunch of places, because you don't just go live on Twitch and people discover you. You bring in your existing audience, you do YouTube videos, you do things that tell people, hey, I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 to 9, come and join us. And so without that existing audience, you don't grow that. So this fear of spending any money, right? Any money at all on something I'm going to put back down, right? Something that's going to distract me. I sold, I don't talk about this a ton, but I sold part of my company back in 2014, and I started to travel a lot. I started to go to Comic Cons a lot. I executive produced a documentary. I started to wear different professional hobby hats because I got a big check, and I made a lot of mistakes with that money. The quote is, "A fool and his money is soon parted," and that applied to me in that window of my time. I was traveling so much, I didn't have my eye on the prize. A lot of things have changed, because of that. But I've also opened a bunch of doors that have led to other opportunities. I'm making websites for people that I never would have access to make websites for otherwise. A lot of entertainment actors and movie productions and things like that. So it has its advantages, but I paid a hefty price in other areas. And so when I made that shift, it's kind of like, what other things am I doing in my life? Yes, I'm an SEO. Yes, I build websites. Yes, I optimize these things. But where are my passion projects? And so what we had always done passively was fostering animals. And I mean, Emma is who lives on my office floor right now while she's waiting for her forever home to adopt her. But we always had litters of kittens that were bottle fed. We had dogs, we had cats, and so when the Trainer Toll raid bus, here we are now 2 years into that. We've passed that. We've raised over $30,000, $32,400 or something like that, with the goal of raising another $1,000 this Sunday. That is something I have not put down. And what's funny is that one of the jabs that people made was that I was very involved in Pokemon Go until that first winter before raiding came out, because I'd caught all the Pokemon, but I didn't really participate in the gym battles aspect of the game. So people started calling me a fair weather trainer because I was bored. So I was doing other things. God forbid you not only play Pokemon Go. It's my favorite insult in the world because it means we are condemning you for doing something else with your time besides this thing that we only do. It's my favorite insult all day long, because it's like a guy that says that a girl's trapped him in the friend zone. You're like, that is not a guy that you want to be friends with, because she doesn't owe him anything, but it's one of those terms. So fair weather trainer to me is kind of like one of those creepy guys that says, I'm stuck in the friend zone. No, she just doesn't want you. I'm sorry. So we go down this rabbit hole and we build this bus, and the bus has been crazy successful. We've raised all this money. We have organizations, literally, people have fought and gotten in huge arguments over who we raise money for, which is not the way to get our attention in a positive way. But even when that happens, we wind up building relationships with the people who come to apologize for bad behaviors, and then that leads to it's so interesting how drama can open doors and create. I don't know, but that's the whole thing. So they're going to shave my head for St. Baldrick's this after this bus. It may happen on TV. It may happen on on the stream. We'll definitely have a recording of it on YouTube. But if we exceed $1,000, they're going to shave my head. And we're doing this to bring awareness to the issues involved with childhood cancers. And so the educational component of having this channel, of having this discourse, of having this conversation allows us to say, hey, this is also going on. So we're going to talk about Pokemon. We're going to talk about Mewtwo raids being postponed and whether or not that means there will be, an extra week of Mewtwo because this one was delayed. And I feel really bad for people who took off work or asked for time off from their managers or whatever to be available for that, because then it's like, yeah, sorry, boss, I actually need it off next Wednesday because there was a bug in New Zealand or something. I don't know. But I'm very proud of what we've accomplished. And I find myself in that same boat once again that I was in 2014, where we built this thing and it's successful and it almost runs itself. That we have a very clear formula. The bus hasn't not sold out in many months. I couldn't tell you the last time that the bus didn't completely sell out. And so I stress less about the bus. I put less energy into getting the bus sold out because it's paint by numbers for me. And so I find myself looking at kind of what's next and leveraging Twitch. And in order to leverage Twitch successfully, that means going back onto YouTube, and doing those two things are the vehicle that will allow us to continue to help animals, that will allow us to continue to help the other nonprofits that we work with. But also kind of taking all this podcasting gear to do Twitch successfully, taking it to, I'm recording this through my same deck. I've got my same record button right here, just like I'd go live on Twitch. And I'm not going to edit this. It's going to go straight up on YouTube, potentially to my detriment because it should be fancier edits. But for these clips, for these kind of one-on-one clips, I want to be really raw. I don't want to do a bunch of edits. I want it to be, from the heart. And so my fear right now, and I feel pretty good about it, but I think you always do when you're starting something new. I think you always do a month into a thing, feel like you are going to continue to do the thing. And I like kind of that Twitch's requirement is kind of a low hanging bar, or was a low hanging bar for us, because then it's like we were able to get the endorphins of that accomplishment early. But I'm really curious to know if we'll be able to grow to that Twitch partner level, and how long that, and whether or not that's even possible, and what that'll take from a video standpoint. So, I don't want to. I was watching an interview today between Philip DeFranco and Casey Neistat, who are two of my absolute favorite YouTubers, favorite content creators. And one of the things that Casey said is that he was doing 800 episodes of daily vlogs, and he found himself faking interactions. He found himself faking days. He found himself faking experiences. And I don't ever want to be in the situation where I'm trying to get a certain reaction out of Laurel on camera because I'm trying to put it on the vlog, and I'm trying, I don't want the reality. I don't want to pay that price. And so if you see a year from now that this went nowhere, know that I probably failed because I wasn't willing to put on that show, right? To idealize my life in a way to say that there's not bad things going on, that it's all good things. And look at this, I've got a lot of real anxieties and concerns around streaming and whether or not I'm going to stick with it, because you have to be on for 2 or 3 hours in the same seat, and you can go to the bathroom and you can do a be right back, and it's not that you can't take a 2-minute break, but you can't be off. You can't, if I'm feeling low energy that day, if I'm feeling depressed, if I'm feeling anxious, you still have to hit go live. Still have to hit that button every day. And so I'm enjoying the consistency of that, because I have a set schedule, and scheduling and consistency for me is always a struggle. And so I really like the idea of, I have to go live at a certain time, and so I have to be ready. What's my preload bumper? What am I going to share out on social media to tease what we're going to be doing today? All of those questions are forefront every time I go live. That hour leading into the actual broadcast, there's a lot that goes into that. And so I'm making this video as kind of a accountability partnership with everyone that will watch it, to say a year from now I will still be uploading videos to YouTube, to say a year from now, minus catastrophic failure, I will still be streaming on Twitch, and I am maintaining the Trainer Toll name, and in this particular type of from the heart vlogging, I will continue the Inbound Zen name as well, because it's what I always loved about that kind of double meaning is that as a career I do inbound marketing, and then really it's finding those Zen acceptance moment. And what I love about Zen is it's the man pursuing enlightenment can never become enlightened. It is only after you stop and you let go of that pursuit. And I'm not there yet. And so it is that process of inbound Zen as an inbound marketer. I've always really liked that kind of play on words. So this is me picking that back up, and okay, it's not a podcast anymore. It's not at our old Gulfdale office, and we're not all sitting around the table talking about SEO. But I will be talking about some of the things that impact that industry and social media and website building and whatnot. There's a ton of things. The reason that I started my company before I sold off a portion of it was to we saw websites being built that had no calls to action, or we saw websites being built that had no keywords on them at all, that had no it was a basketball hoop company. It was one of our very first clients here in Texas 10 years ago, and the words basketball hoop were not present on the website in a computer readable format. Gorgeous website. It was all Flash, and 10 years ago, Flash was still relevant. But 10 years ago, we were doing those. We were looking at these websites, and this was our competitor, because at the time we were just website builders. And so, we said, how do we build websites that make the phone ring? Because these guys paid all this money and the phone never rang. So they had a beautiful website, but it was an island, right? And I can tell you that in the context of Trainer Toll. I can tell you that as a website connoisseur, and I've always been afraid of Trainer Toll, the Pokemon guy, and Matthew Egan, the website guy, having a conflict of topic. And I think, the new Office Space, and having all of my character, the things that are important to me, everything that's on this shelf, right? So it's 10th anniversary of World of Warcraft, bronze statue. We got Tyrael from Diablo 2. We've got Red from Pokemon Red or Pokemon Blue, a Ewok Star Wars phone. We've got White Phoenix. I'm a huge Jean Grey Phoenix fan. We've got FemShep from Mass Effect. Jennifer Hale did the voice for it. She's fantastic. And we've got R2KT. And if you don't know about R2KT, definitely Google it, because it's an excellent example of Star Wars fandom doing a ton of good. So this is my commitment in video form, that this is episode 1 of Inbound Zen. And I'll still make Pokemon videos, and I'll still do other things in this space, and game guides, and how to get the Brave Emblem and Fire Emblem and all that. But I'm still Matthew Egan on this channel as well. And I'm scared. I'm worried about past failures, and I'm projecting those onto this current effort. A lot of fun things when I lay down to sleep at night and everything's quiet. A lot of scary things when I'm sitting here in this chair, and I'm saying, I was watching the video, and I leaned back and I said, you should be uploading. So here I am, uploading, which is what I will continue to do going forward. Thanks, guys.